Could you give us a brief big picture of how dangerous you think this time of history is? Is it chronic annoyance or is it actual danger? And when will the United States see some end to these wars, especially the now 13-year war in Iraq, Afghanistan?
Jim, I think we are living through one of these historic defining times. I think we are seeing a new world order. Post-World War II, post-Soviet Union implosion, being built. Many questions about, first, among the American people and our leaders, what's the role of America in this new world that is evolving? Should we have a role? What is appropriate? And the inventory of issues that Steve mentioned coming onto the stage with you and your question gives us some snapshot into what we're all dealing with. Each one of these issues, regardless of where they are, affects us now, will continue to affect us into the future. I've said, Chairman Dempsey said, President Obama has said, Secretary Kerry, others, that what we're seeing in the Middle East with ISIL, is going to require a steady, long-term effort. It's going to require coalitions of common interests, which we are forming. We have more than 60 countries now with us to deal with this. This is an ideology. This is a dynamic that in total we've never quite seen. And then you look at all the other dimensions, the rise of China, Russia, what Russia has been doing the last 6 months, a pandemic disease, Ebola being an example, budget issues. We've got a Congress that can't work together. I hope that changes after next Tuesday. I don't know, but we need all of our institutions functioning, including the Congress, to deal with these great issues because they have long-term consequences. Global warming. I mean, every facet that we see out there today is rolling back on us in some way. If we're not paying a price today, we will pay a big price tomorrow.
Yeah, the Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel's remarks regarding a new world order seem to illustrate two important aspects of our culture here in the United States, and that is that we are a capitalist corporate system and that we are predominantly a military-industrial complex. The capitalist system requires constant growth over a long-term period. So when you have a country that is dependent upon the military-industrial complex for economic growth, you have a system that is essentially requires long-term, never-ending war, which will constantly be increasing. So this means that in order to provide growth for the stockholders and the owners of these military corporations, these military weapons producers, that they need to have endless wars, and obviously the world is a finite space, and you cannot have endless wars. So eventually, this will have to require creating wars even in domestic situations. So clearly, this is a very dangerous, scary situation for everybody in the world, because clearly there is no desire for peace and there is no desire for the war to ever stop, because the portfolios of the investors of these death merchants require endless wars. And this is definitely a bad situation for all humans on Earth.